You might have seen in my previous video of the Soft Pop 2, which I'm going to include a link to up the top here, how I use the Bastl Basil delay module. Bastl were kind enough to send this to me to use for a few videos. So this isn't really a deep dive or a manual. Bastl have a very good set of videos on their website. It's more just some explorations of patch ideas I've been playing with and how I like using it both with, say, the pizza oscillator or the oscillators in the Soft Pop. There's a couple of patches we'll go through. You'll kind of see the effect the controls have. All right, let's get started. Now let's do a quick overview of the Basil module. And we'll use the Soft Pop 2 as our sound source because it gives me both a sequencer and I can play around with the sound here, but also clock and other outputs that I can use to modulate some of the settings in Basil. The first thing to note about Basil is it shares the same user interface with Bastl Pizza, the FM oscillator, because they're built on the same hardware platform. So that's good if you're familiar with Pizza and how these controls work. You will have no trouble adjusting to Basil. Let's just patch the output here of the Soft Pop into the input of Basil, and we'll take a listen to the dry sound. Okay, a simple sequence saw wave oscillator using the digital oscillator. Let's start with a basic setting on Basil. We'll keep all the controls at their default, and we'll take a listen as we bring up the wet of the mix. So here now we get the echoes there. Now let's take a look at what happens with the slider controls. The slider is the space control, and this allows you to control the space of the echoes or the sound. You can add some blur, either pre or post feedback. You can filter with either a low or high pass filter in the feedback loop of the delay. And you can adjust the delay taps to be odd or even delay taps. So the more you move this, the more taps you add into the delay feedback path. Let's take a quick listen to the effect this has on our sound. Add some blur. More noticeable there. Let's try filtering. Now you hear that the echo is only on the high frequencies. Now the echo is only on the lower frequencies. Now let's look at taps. We have multi-taps to add more density to the sound. Next, take a look at the time knob. So this is the most obvious thing you're going to want to do, which is control how long the delays are for. So if we turn it to the right, they get shorter. We get that sort of almost chorusy effect. And if you turn it to the left, the delays get longer. Okay. So far, so good. It's a pretty standard delay, and we can send a clock into sync here to get clock synced divisions. We'll do that in a little while in the video. Let's take a look at the effect of the stereo spread control here. So you tap this button to choose between time and stereo mode for this knob, what it affects. When the knob is all the way to the left here, it means the left and right channels have the same delay amount. So basically, they're both being delayed by the same amount. It is a stereo delay after all. But as we turn it clockwise, the left channel delay starts to get longer and the right channel delay starts to get shorter. So you'll start to hear this change in the placement of the echoes as you listen in the stereo field. So definitely put headphones on for this bit. Let's take a quick listen. So now as you listen on your headphones, you can hear that movement. I certainly can in my ears. The left is longer and the right is shorter. You also have a fine-tune control on the delay. By long pressing this button here, we go into fine mode. And this is actually very good to map to an external LFO. Let's take a listen to the effect we can have if we have a very short delay time and we map a slow triangle LFO, say from Carve over here, into the control input. So to map the control input, we long press this button here. Now, whatever is currently mapped onto the control input is flashing. So right now the blur would be controlled using CV into this. But if you tap here, you can cycle through different settings that you might want to map onto CV. And up here, what we'll do is we'll tap time, tap again for stereo, and then it flashes fine. That means now the CV, the voltage that comes in here, attenuated by this knob here, will adjust the fine of the tuning, which means we can create things like tremolo effects or slow movement in the delay time. Just long press this to save that assignment, and it's saved after the unit powers off. We'll just patch in this cable here into the control input. Now this is still off, so no, we won't hear any change in the sound, and I'm going to turn up the delay time to the right here, which means we'll have a much faster delay. Things can get a little bit weird, but just a little modulation in this case goes a long way. Now let's take a look at what this feedback section does. And this is where you can get into a lot of fun, because you can actually loop your delays and loop the delay at half the speed, quarter of the speed, or even 1/8 of the speed, and it all stays in tune. So let's just tap the half speed button here and listen to the effect this has on the overall delay. See, now we go down an octave and stay perfectly in tune. We can still adjust all these controls here. And there's no problem. Basil keeps everything nicely in tune. Then I can long press this, and I get a longer delay, and that's the 1/8. And we can turn off half, and now we're at quarter speed. Then we can freeze this. As you can hear there, I've frozen the delay buffer. And we can now play around with it. There's a little bit of cut over there as the delay loops. I'm just going to turn on the lo-fi filter here and apply a little bit of a low-pass filter there by sliding my filter control over. And now you can hear that delay looping in the background, which is a lovely performance effect, and all of the controls affected. And then I can bring it back up to quarter speed. Now let's play around a little bit with the feedback. And the feedback is where you would traditionally control how much of the original signal is mixed back in to create the delay loop. And the greater the feedback, obviously, the more of the signal gets looped back in, and so the greater amount of delay feedback you get. And if it's too high, of course, you can get feedback loops. But the feedback knob is interesting. If you turn it to the right, it creates the same delay on the left and right channels. So the left and right channels are both getting the same delay. And in this case, left is normal to right, as you would expect in a stereo module, and you give it a mono input. But if you turn it to the left and right channels now crisscross each other in the delay feedback loop, and the left channel feeds into the right feedback, and the right channel feeds into the left feedback. So we get a classic ping pong delay, which is a lot of fun if you want to also modulate the delay time or modulate any of these parameters down here. Let's take a listen to the effect this has by choosing a slightly slower delay here. And this time we are going to clock sync the delay. I'm going to take the clock output from the soft pop, and we just pop it in here into the sync input. And that's all you need to do now to clock sync your delays. So you've clock synced stereo delays, where now the time knob creates fixed divisions of the incoming clock. Now, I think it needs about 3 clock pulses to lock on. So if you've got a very variable clock, you can get some really wacky effects coming out. Let's take a listen to the effect this has. Now when I turn this knob, you hear it jumps straight to the new delay time. because that's because we're clock synced. Now we'll turn up the feedback. First of all, we'll keep both the left and right channels the same. So there you hear the feedback building up. Now we'll go to the left-right ping-pong mode. Now listen with headphones on or with good speakers and you'll hear the left and the right channels bouncing between each other. We can still use these controls here. Let's look at a few more patch examples. Well, here's one that I've kind of rigged up. We're syncing again the delay time of the clock. We're going to modulate the feedback using a slow-moving triangle LFO off Carve. And I use the same technique as I showed in my previous video, which I'll link up above here and also down below in the text, on how to trigger dark matter as a kick drum using the slide gate here as a secondary sequencer output from the soft pop sequencer. So let's take a listen. So we can bring in like additional layers as if somebody much better at piano is playing than I could ever do. Now we got a nice kind of boogie-woogie effect almost going on there. Let's take a look at an example of a reverb patch. So you can actually use Basil to create a type of reverb. And what you do here is you want to have your delay time up very high. And I'm just going to take a gate out of soft pop here, and we'll just set it on dry so you can take a listen. Nothing too exciting going on here. We're just taking a mix using 3 toms mixing flask. Lovely little module there for mixing things and adding subtle overdrive. The 3 oscillators out of pizza into Kari and then in here. So let's bring up the dry wet mix. And now you can start to hear like a reverb because we have it on half, actually long range half speed. So it's on, I think it's on one, that would mean an 1/8 there, yeah? And we can remove the blur, you see. You start to hear a different sounding reverb, like a pipe reverb. Yeah, a little bit more metallic, kind of resonating. I've got the control map to taps. And now we can dial up the filter, for example. Let's look at an example of how we can modulate the speed setting here by mapping the control input to a very slow LFO I have coming out of Carve here. And then this will create a very kind of ambient evolving sound because it'll be out of sync with our main sequencer. So here's our sequencer sound. We bring up the wet dry mix here on Basil, and now you hear occasionally the control input here is modulating the speed setting. Use that to add these kind of little, almost like, you know, ambient looper effects at the end of it. Bring in a little bit of ping pong slower delay here. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found today's video useful. By all means, leave me some questions and comments down below. I love hearing from people and try to answer everything. And don't forget to subscribe to get updates for future videos. See you next time.